It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real
crime. Warning. This episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. And again, I know this has been a long series, this death penalty phase series that I'm doing, but I have to tell the story. I'm reading it directly from the court transcripts, and you get everything from the objections to the real testimonies of everybody involved in this case. And y'all, Eric Mickelson is now on trial for his life. The prosecution is putting forward everything to show why this dude shouldn't breathe anymore, okay? And at the end, it's going to be death penalty or sentenced to death or not. So just bear with me. We're almost done, but we're going to get to the call to action and try to get some justice for another family, all for Chrissy O'Price's family. And she has loved ones, and I've talked to them for hours, and we're going to talk to them in the final episode. So we'll let you know, even after all of these years, how they're hurting, okay? So stay tuned at the end of the show for some podcast podcast announcements and all that good stuff. All right, so when I left you last, the cross-examination of Detective Ward is going to start, and it's done by Miss Shealy. So when I say question, that's going to be Miss Shealy asking the question, and answer is going to be Detective Ward answering. So let's get started. Cross-examination by Miss Shealy. Question. Detective Ward, in the beginning of your testimony, you were talking about all the places throughout the beginning of 1996 up through 2007 that you looked for Miss O'Pry? Answer. Question.
you searched the property, well, Mr. Mickelson's property, a number of times in that amount of time, right? Answer, uh-huh. Question, you got consent to search the property? Answer, uh-huh. Question, I think you also said that you mentioned one of the times in, I think it was 1999, there was a trunk searched? Answer, uh-huh. Question, I just want to be clear because I think we were talking about the property, but it was not Mr. Mickelson's trunk. It was a Wade Burnley's trunk. Answer, yes. Question, and that trunk was searched again in 2005? Answer, I don't know what you're talking about. 2005. Question, the trunk was searched and there were hairs found? Answer, there was one strand of hair found. Question, and that was a blonde hair? Answer, yes. Question, when you were talking about the search of the culverts on Jefferson Page Road, that's right near the 10 Point Hunting Club, right? Answer, yes. Question, about the same area? Answer, uh-huh. Question, and that area had been improved between 1996 and 2007? Answer, that culvert that we were looking at, that area right there. Question, whoever had control of that culvert, they had taken vehicles in and they had changed the landscape. Is that right? Answer, that's what I understand. Yeah. Question, and when that happened, you would have been the lead detective or the lead detective in name on the O'Pry case, right? Answer, yes. Question, no one told you they had found anything there when they were searching that property sometime between, or when they were digging up that property sometime between 1996 and 2007? Answer, well, that area was not searched for anything that had anything to do with Christy O'Pry. And at the time, we did not know that information about the culvert had anything to do with Christy O'Pry. Question, you never learned that anyone found anything in that culvert, did you? Answer, no. Question, when you searched the culvert in 2007, there were officers conducting a grid search over 200 feet. Is that right? Answer, 100 feet by 150 feet. And they added some onto it. Question, and you got the assistance with figuring out where to search, right? Answer, uh-huh. Question, and so you were guided by, I think it was an anthropologist who said the water is coming in this way, you should look there. Answer, well, it wasn't like that. Mary Manheim, who is an anthropologist, she did come down and look at the area. It was her opinion that we had done a very thorough search, even more than what she would have done, because it had been 11 years and because of all the rain and all the weather that has gone on in that area and it was a low area. And also, she mentioned because of animals scavenging that, in her opinion, that we might not ever find anything. Question. And you never found anything? Answer. No. Question. When you were talking about the search of the property, when you drained out the pond, that occurred, was it August the 6th, 2007? About then? August the 6th of 2007? Answer. Yeah. Question. The property, someone had looked, and you had looked at the pond on July 30th, 2007, right? You had been there before. Answer. Yeah. We went there and looked at the area, looked at the pond to see what we needed to do. Question. And when you searched the pond, you found a truck bed there in the pond? Answer. No. Question. You did not find a truck bed? Answer. There was a truck bed on the property, but it was not in the pond. Question. But there was a truck bed on the property. Answer. There was a truck bed on the property. Question. Thank you. There were 4 rims in the pond? Answer. Yes. Question. When you went to go talk with Eric at the Caddo Correctional Center, there's no cocaine. There's no drugs at the Caddo Correctional Center, right? I think you said that. Answer. That's correct. Question. There's no cigarettes at the Caddo Correctional Center, is there either? Answer. There's none that you can buy there. Question. When you were going to talk with Eric, with Officer Rehack, Eric was allowed to smoke cigarettes, right? Answer. Yeah, he was. Question. And he seemed to enjoy smoking the cigarettes, right? Answer. He seemed to enjoy that. Question. You have no physical evidence tying Eric to the disappearance of Miss O'Pry, do you? Answer. No. Question. And there's no physical evidence Miss O'Pry is actually dead. Answer. No. Miss Shealy, thank you, the court. Redirect. Mr. Edwards, thank you, Your Honor. Y'all, this is a redirect examination by the prosecutor, Mr. Edwards. Question. Now, I take it when the construction crew went out to the culvert, around what time period was that again? Answer. That was on the day of July 13th. I met with the group after I interviewed Eric. Question. I'm sorry, detective. I'm talking about there was some testimony regarding how that culvert had changed during that time period. Answer. Yes. Question. In around what was the time period that change occurred? Answer. The information that I had was that it changed between 1998 and 2005. Question. So in that time period, I take it there was no reason to believe that Christy O'Pry's torso might be there, correct? Answer. Absolutely not. Question. Now, we're not talking about all of her. We're talking about her torso. Answer. There was no information tying her to that area whatsoever. Question. So no reason to have said, oh, you can't do any construction here because there may be a girl's torso? Answer. Right. Question. And I'm sure no one told the construction crew at the time, hey, while y'all digging up everything and pouring in the concrete, keep your eyes out for a girl's torso. I mean, it may just be bones now. That conversation never happened? Answer. No. Question. Now, the defense talked about a Mary Manheim. She was an anthropologist. Is that correct? Answer. Yes. Question. And you all called her in to help assist the search? Answer. Yes. Question. And what was her opinion of the likelihood of being able to find anything after this time period? Answer. Not a very good likelihood of finding anything. Question. And what were the variables she talked about that could remove the body, or even not even a whole body, a piece of a body? Answer. Well, of course, she said that the weather, the rain going through the culvert, animal scavenging, insects, all those kinds of things attract decomposition like that. And she just said, after all those years, and, you know, them coming back in there and resurfacing and redoing that area right there, it was her opinion. You know, we would be very lucky if we found anything. Question. She asked you about bringing cigarettes to the defendant, right? Answer. Yeah. Question. Detective Rehack, he smokes too, right? Answer. Yes, he does. He did. I think he's quit since then. Question. But at the time, he was still smoking. Answer. Yeah. Question. So he wasn't going to object to having a cigarette with the defendant? Answer. No. Question. And is that something unusual? If an interviewer wants a cigarette, they'll let him have a cigarette? Answer. There's nothing unusual with that.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Question. Ian, the defense attorney asked you, well, there's no physical evidence after all this time, but in the course of your investigation, were you able to verify anyone being with Christy O. Pry after the defendant Eric Mickelson? Answer. Absolutely not. Question. And in the course of your investigation, has anyone else confessed to this crime? Answer. No. Question. And with all the media attention and all, you met with the family, correct? Answer. Yes. Met with the family many times over the years. Question. And the family has been heavily involved in searching for their daughter and their sister and their mother, correct? Answer. Yeah. Question. And now it's now 2011. It's August of 2011. So we're talking about 15 years. Has there been any sign of Christy O'Pry in that time? Answer. No. Mr. Edwards, nothing further. The court. All right. Thank you, Detective Ward. Mr. Hall, the next witness is going to be lengthy. The court. Well, the assistant DA tells me the next witness will be lengthy. So let's take a 10-minute break, please. 10-minute break. And y'all, the jury is excused from the courtroom and a short recess was had. They come back in the court. All right. The record should reflect the defendant is present with counsel, of course. Everybody ready to proceed? Mr. Hall. Yes, sir. Mr. Price. Yes, sir. Miss Shealy. Your Honor, we may have just one, just because I think that next witness is going to be Officer McConicle and the state intends to play the tape. Yet, of course, we have the same objections that we had to the previous tape being played? Court. I'm sorry. You had a previous objection to the tape being, Miss Shealy, to the tape being played. We had gone through a list of objections and a list of certain crimes that could come in. I want to make sure that I'm objecting. Same stuff we object to before, we object in this as well. Mr. Hall. It's really the same statement, Your Honor. She just wants to preserve her stuff. I understand that. The court. Preserve your objections to the pretrial rulings made by Judge Ramona Emanuel. Ms. Shealy. Yes, and to the court's rulings concerning this statement. It's the same statement that was played in the guilt phase. It just has the O'Pry matter in there. We had discussed the addition of use of the CD, the actual transcript being shown to the jurors. And I just want to make the court aware that we are objecting to this for the same reasons we objected to the previous ones. The court. Okay, well, again, as I said before, the evidentiary rulings made by Judge Ramona Emanuel are honored by me. I have previously ruled during the course of the guilt determination trial that this is admissible, and I deem it to be admissible now. Your objection is noted and may continue in nature. Ms. Shealy. Thank you, Your Honor. The court. Anything else? Mr. Hall. Nothing. Ms. Shealy. No, sir. The court. Bring the jury in, please. All the jury enters the courtroom. The court. Please be seated. You may call your next witness. Mr. Hall. The state calls Detective Patrick McConnell. Detective Patrick McConnell, having first been duly sworn, testifies as follows. Direct examination by Mr. Hall. Question. Detective McConnell, welcome back. Answer. Thank you. Question. Here we're talking about different things than we hadn't talked about before, correct? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. All right. Tell me about when you find out about Christy O'Pry in the context of your contact with Mr. Mickelson. Answer. Mr. Mickelson brings it up during an interview of the disappearance of Mr. Martin. Question. And for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, during the guilt phase of the proceedings, heard from Detective Bowen, and during that, we played an initial portion of this interview. Is that when he first started talking about Miss O'Pry? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. All right. So some of those beeps we might have heard in that dealt with Miss O'Pry as well, correct? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. But specifically, coming back to the second portion where we're coming back in from the cigarette, he talks about Miss O'Pry a lot, right? Answer. He does. Question. With that, is he making any condition on you, asking anything of you with respect to Miss O'Pry? Answer. In reference to question. His willingness to talk. Answer. Initially, he was hesitant. He wanted the recording device, the digital recorder, turned off if he was going to say anything at all about her. Question. Okay. Did he want Miss O'Pry's family to know that he was admitting it? Answer. No. He was just wanting to keep his involvement with the old prior case clandestine, for lack of a better term. Question. And throughout the interview, does he appear to convince a belief or hold a belief that he can, in fact, direct how the police are going to handle what they find out about Christy? Answer. Yes, sir. He wanted us to, during the course of the Martin investigation, he kind of asked us to put it in a way that we just happen upon some information concerning the O'Pry case. Question. And detective, just like I asked you for the guilt phase, you reviewed this statement thoroughly? Answer. Yes, sir. Mr. Hall, Your Honor, first, may I approach the court? Yes, sir. Mr. Hall, Your Honor, I would like to record the record to reflect that this has been previously provided to defense counsel. Question. I got an item here that I've marked as Mickelson interview part 2, penalty P5. Answer. Yes, sir. Question. Is this a copy that is appropriate for the penalty version, meaning with the inclusion of Christy O'Pry evidence, the same part that we played in the guilt phase otherwise? Answer. Yes, sir. Mr. Hall, Your Honor, at this time, I would like to offer and introduce P5 into evidence. Ms. Shealy, note our previous objection. The court, so noted. The exhibit is admitted. Mr. Hall, Your Honor, at this time, I would ask for assistance from the deputy sheriff regarding the passing out the transcript. I would ask the same instruction the court has been given. The court, all right, sir. Mr. Price, Judge, we maintain our same objection as to that procedure as well. The court, all right, sir. Does everybody have their glasses? Thank you. All right. I believe the deputy sheriff is providing the back row with the copies now. Mr. Hall, Your Honor, the defense attorney and the court should have one. If I got some short, I got some extra floating around. The court, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be hearing an audio tape. I have the same instruction for you as I did previously. You will listen to the audio tape. The transcript is provided as an aid to assist you in following and understanding the audio tape. If what you read on paper is different from what you hear, rely on what you hear. Rely on the audio tape. That's the evidence. The transcript is merely an aid to assist you in listening to the tape. Mr. Hall, thank you, Your Honor. Y'all, the audio tape was played. And Mr. Hall, the timestamp is between 1 hour and 15 seconds. 1 hour and 15 minutes, 0 seconds, and 1 hour, 15 minutes and 13 seconds. Your Honor, I'm just checking. We've been doing it for an hour straight, and I don't really see anybody dozing, but I was going to defer the court. I thought hour chunks would be nice given the length of the tape. The court, well, I was thinking about 5 o'clock. It's almost 5 o'clock, so let's go ahead and take a break for 10 minutes. Again, please remember, do not discuss the case. Thank you. The jury's excused from the courtroom, y'all. The court. The jury is outside the courtroom. In terms of scheduling, I would like to proceed until about 7 o'clock, somewhere in that range, and stop around 7 o'clock. Stopping at 7 so they can go to dinner and get back to the hotel and not be too tired. So that would be the plan. Thank you. The court. Let's bring the jury in. The court. All right, Mr. Hall, you can resume and continue. Question. Detective McConnell, I'm getting out the state's Exhibit 257, and I want to talk with you about some locations. Remember the last time we did the statement? I want you to come down from the stand, if that's okay with the court. The court, sure. Question. I want to talk to you about some locations that the jury might not otherwise understand. You went through all this, and one of the references that we heard earlier was that life is a circle. Does that have any meaning to you relative to where the evidence was located? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. Tell me more about that, please. Answer. I interpret it to mean that Mr. Martin and Christy O'Price's torsos are dumped, or their bodies or parts of their bodies were dumped in close to the same location. Question. Close to the same location, and this is before he's announced where everything is, right? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. And then looking at the map, there's just sort of a circular pattern to where everything is distributed, correct? Answer. Yeah. Question. We got an extra stop that the jury hasn't heard about so far. And he just said before we went out of the room, Highway 80. Where is Highway 80? Answer. Highway 80 is going to be right around here. It's kind of hard. It's not really marked. It's close to right here where Greenwood and Jefferson Page is. Question. Generally speaking, Greenwood is Highway 80, right? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. So, would you say right around Greenwood, would you say right around Greenwood, do you mean Greenwood? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. You know where 10 Point is, right? Answer. That's where Mr. Martin's torso was located. Question. Ian, you and I have talked about this in the past. That's because you're a Shreveport detective and not a Caddo Parish deputy. This area is the area you're tight with, correct? Answer. Yes, I see it often. Question. You know the parish too, right? Answer. A little bit. Question. All right. Show us about where we're going with Mr. Mickelson down Highway 80. Answer. Just north of Greenwood, Highway 80 intersects with Jefferson Page. So right around this area here. Question. And for the record, you're indicating a rather large circle, but a circle nonetheless, around the intersection of Highway 80 or Greenwood and Jefferson Page right here. Answer. It's going to be just north of the intersection. Question. And if we describe that area with particularity, since there has not been a photograph of it, what would they be looking at if I threw up a photo on the wall? Where would you all be? Answer. Would be north of the Rose Center. The Rose Garden is there. They're close to that location. Specifically, down into a depression, there's going to be a yellow and black diagonally striped road sign. And that road sign is going to be an indicator, a road sign indicator of a very large culvert that empties into a wash. Question. So you're talking about the type of road sign that I'm familiar with as a caution sign. Answer. Yeah, I guess it could be. Question. That's what a yellow and black diagonal stripes mean, isn't it? Answer. Well, I haven't actually known it is at. Question. Well, how do you know it? Answer. It's a marker for like a bridge abutment, a bridge location. And in this location is where a very large culvert is. When I say large, it's a very large culvert. It comes out from under the ground and onto a wash area. Question. And when you say a wash, just mean where? Answer. Thousands of gallons of water are coming out of that culvert when it rains and then empties out into a wash area and then, well, out into the woods. Question. So if I'm looking at this map and I see we have a few bends in the road, are those bends, or was the road bending near where you're talking about, where the yellow and black sign is? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. Would you take the stand, please? And the witness complies. Question. And we should be on page 62. Y'all, the audio tape was played. Question. So, detective, what we've been describing here is pretty much the same process as what he's describing doing to Charlie, correct? Answer. Yes, sir. Question. A lot of similarities between the two crimes, correct? Answer. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Question. There was some back and forth about the place of death. What was your understanding of what was being discussed as to where Christy was killed? Answer. As I understand it now, or as I understood it then. Question. As you understood it then. Answer. There was some discussion back and forth because it wasn't really clear to me exactly where Christy died or the manner in which she died. At that point, I thought she had died someplace else on Mickelson's property. Question. Okay. Mr. Hall. Your Honor, it's about 6:30, which is about an hour. I know there's about 30 minutes before your break. I need a break. Court. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a 5-minute break. Jury's excused from the courtroom. Short recess was had. Mr. Hall. Your Honor, a member of my staff has indicated there may be a problem, so I'm not sure if I need 5 minutes longer. I need to get advised. I don't know what it is. The court. All right, let me know when you're ready. Short recess was had. Mr. Hall. Your Honor, we're just coming back off a break. The jury is still outside the courtroom. The defendant is present with all his counsel. The state is represented by Mr. Edwards and myself. My staff had noted to me a good point. Tomorrow, we're going to try to abbreviate the presentation of the statement a little bit. It was only this afternoon at lunch when we got the final version of the transcript, so getting an accurate timestamp to be able to hop in there has been impossible. But given tonight, I can speed it up. I've talked to the defense a little bit about, jumping to the more relevant portions and not making them go through all the stuff. The portion we played through so far, up to 10 point, is generally where the statement is so interwoven, it does not make sense to do this hopping. But as we get to Watertown and as we get to Armstrong, Christie becomes less prominent in the discussion and does not become significantly prominent again until we get out to the Woolworth Road property. That being the case, I know that about the next 20 pages or so are the cops talking about directions and other things that are less germane to the character and propensities of the defendant. And it would be my preference, as the hour is now 6:40, that we stop and give me a little bit more time to make it run a little bit slicker in the morning. But I would defer to the court, and I'm happy to go on. Court. Well, if it's more efficient to stop, I'm fine with that. If by agreement of the defense counsel, some of this portion that they've already heard can be abbreviated, I think that may be a good use of time. What do you think, Miss Shealy? Do you agree with that? Miss Shealy. I do, Your Honor. Court. All right, bring the jury in. I'm going to tell them pretty much that. The jury's returned to the courtroom. The court. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, my understanding from Mr. Hall, the Assistant District Attorney, is that there is a possibility that the remainder of this transcript may be able to be abbreviated in as much as you've heard of it before. And I understand defense counsel is in agreement with Mr. Hall. Ms. Shealy is in agreement with Mr. Hall that there can be some abbreviation of what remains of this transcript and what remains of the audio recording, but they need more time to work on that. And I understand that they would spend some time tonight doing that right here. That will make this more efficient for you and I believe, because again, you've heard of this previously. So I think it's a good use of time, which means they'll stop for the day and let you have a good dinner tonight. And I will see you. I like to start 9 o'clock in the morning. Is that good with everybody? Everybody's nodding yes, y'all. Juror Williams. I said 8 o'clock. We'll come at 7. The earlier, the better. The court. Can we start promptly at 9 o'clock, everybody? Mr. Hall. Yes, sir. The court. We will continue to do our best to be efficient with your time. We understand that this is a tough, and being sequestered is tough. We're ahead of schedule, but this matter is important. It takes time, and we want to make sure that it proceeds efficiently and that none of you are tired. And I don't want the lawyers to be tired either. So that's all considered. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Y'all, the jury is excused from the courtroom. The court. All right. The record should reflect the jury is outside the courtroom and will be on their way to dinner and back to their hotel for the remainder of the evening. Anything for the record? Mr. Hall. No, sir. I'm done for today. Mr. Price. No, sir. The court. All right. Well, you all can work on that. If you need the courtroom, I would ask the deputy sheriff to assist. I would like the lawyers to take a look at the closing jury instructions tonight. I've already made some changes, but I want us to have time to review this on the record at a later point, maybe several times, before we get to the stage of reading these instructions. Mr. Price. Yes, sir. Mr. Hall. Yes, sir. The court. Thank you very much. We'll be in recess. And y'all, they go back out of the courtroom. And I'm going to stop it right there. I don't even think I'm going to do the last one. The closing arguments about, well, you know what? I think I will do it. I'll do that next week. I'm going to do the closing arguments, one final episode, the closing arguments and the verdict in this trial. Okay. Then we'll have one more episode where we do the call to action. And I will tell you everything that happened in this case since then. That was 2011. So it's, that's 10, 11, it's 12 more years, y'all. And I'm going to tell you everything that happened. It's going to be a bit shocking. And, you know, you got to remember these are real people, real family members. You know, Christy O'Pry and Mr. Charles Martin were certainly not the only victims. And one of the good things, as much painful it was for y'all to listen to me read courtroom transcripts, one of the good things is you got to hear some of the family's pain, some of the things about the victims in their lives and that they were loved, right? And Christy O'Pry had her whole life ahead of her. Mr. Martin was on up in years, but nobody deserves to be murdered, much less choked to death and hacked up, thrown away like garbage. And in Christy's case, murdered and then raped, basically necrophilia. I mean, after the death and all that, and then taken out of the pond and cut up and again thrown away like trash. So it's a real deal, y'all. This is real life, real crime. I've got to do this. We've got to finish it. I know some of you are not even listening to this anymore because you don't like when I do series, and you certainly don't like when I read. But I was able to I was able to obtain these records, and I am telling a story. Stick with me, okay? Remember, these are real victims. And when we do the call to action, it's like the longest of long shots, people. I get that. But we may be able to do something. And that's the whole reason I'm doing this. I will back to the old cop stories in 2 more weeks, okay? That's my promise. But I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't use this platform and didn't use y'all to try to get another family justice, all right? And that being said, podcast stuff, again, if you want to message me anything, questions about a case or information about a case or whatever, email me, woody@realliferealcrime.com. Y'all just makes it so much easier for me. Of course, we have the Real Life Real Crime Community app. Go download it. It's everything Real Life Real Crime on steroids, including Real Life Real Crime Daily and Bloody Angola. And and Real Life Real Crime Originals. And that's ultimately where we're going to be putting up Christina Prize information for the tip line and all that. Go like and subscribe. I know you're getting 5 days a week on episodes now between Bloody Angola and Real Life Real Crime Daily. Hell, you're getting more than that. So you're getting 4 Real Life Real Crime Dailies. You're getting original Real Life Real Crime is 5 and a Bloody Angola. So you're getting 6 episodes a week. And I appreciate y'all. All right. The TikTok, go check out the videos. I'm posting a video every single day. Go to TikTok. I was never a TikTok fan that didn't have time to fuck with it. But I am now. I'm posting a video every single day of different stuff. Some's true crime, some's Louisiana stuff, whatever. The life of Woody Overton. So go to TikTok, give me a follow, and I appreciate that. And give our girl Bayou_Brandy a follow also. She's my mentor on TikTok. So Patreon convicts, thank you, subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you can't be a Patreon or convict, the convicts is Patreon members through our Real Life Real Crime community app. It's the same thing. But some people like Patreon, some people like the app, whatever. But thank y'all for it. If you can't be one, I get it. I love you anyway. I know times are hard. If you would, though, give us a like and a follow. Maybe leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts if you're so inclined. Now, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, LOPA. You know, it's my jam. I end every show with this. Y'all, they're a nonprofit, and I've seen so many of these cases where I had what ultimately would be homicide victims who were still attached to the life support, and they were organ donors, and the LOPA was able to assist in their organs going to people, and it saved their lives. Okay, but you know what? That just doesn't magically happen. You have to sign up to be an organ donor, and you don't have to be from Louisiana to be an organ donor. You could be from Beijing, China, and want to be an organ donor, go to lopa.org, take a couple minutes, fill out the questionnaire, and then you're a hero, right? The chances of them ever using your stuff are slim to none, but if it does happen, you're not going to really care anyway, right? But then your organs can go on in your eyes, or whatever they use. This to save lives, people. There are people dying every day waiting on these transplants. And if you reach that point, you're not going to be using it anyway. So, and I want to thank the Chase Tyler Band again. And Chase Tyler, freaking awesome. Thank you for the music. I should do that more often. And I love and appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to or during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down on Murder Bayou. Now you better
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.